Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to see so many of you here today. You know, there was a variety of, some of you may have seen in the program guide, I'm talking about the Stargate experience, and then some of you may have seen online that I'm talking about astrology meets the Stargate experience. And so there was a little kerfuffle there, and so I was kind of surrendered because I had sent in all what I was going to speak about, and it just never went through. And so they put down what I spoke on last year, which I did last year with the Stargate experience, at the very end of the Expo. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful for me. Not one person left for the whole thing, which is quite amazing in a free lecture. And I was just lit up by it. So when it came out that they used the same writing as last year, I thought, well, this is just ordained. I'm just supposed to do a Stargate. But today is a very, very important time. We have a new moon today. We have a solar eclipse at 4:30. It's now a little after 3. And we have a comet happening. So, oh my gosh, hold on to your seat. I'm going to share just a little bit about this lunar eclipse from my teacher that I've been studying with for the last couple of years. I've been into astrology for really most of my adult life, but I started studying with an astrologer about 2 years ago who does primarily traditional astrology, which is a bit different. We really don't have time to get into that today, but I brought my cards, and if you want to know more, contact me and I'll kind of plug you in. But he sends a little horoscope thing every day, and I just thought I would share what he said today. And so that'll be the astrology portion of it. Okay, happy Lunar Eclipse Day, everyone, and welcome to Conscious Life Expo, the 15th annual. And some of you heard me say that I was one of the co-founders. And I remember walking along the beach in San Francisco talking about the possibility of doing this down here. And here we are, 15 years later. How is that even possible? And I'm looking at this expo this year. I'm so excited because it has just grown and evolved, and it's just become more and more exciting. If you look at the program guide, some of it says Program Director Emeritus. I'm more involved now with the on-site management of the conference, and you'll see me around all weekend doing that. And there's two panels that I'm hosting. One is Living in Vitality, which is tomorrow at 4:30 to 6:30. And on Sunday, 5 to 7, Spiritual Healing, which is one of the reasons I'm not doing my lecture on Sunday, which I usually do at 6 o'clock. So all of a sudden I'm at the beginning. You know, the beautiful thing is that Stargate is a wonderful way to start anything. And so we're going to have an opportunity to bring in the energies of the angelic. Just wait till you see. You're in really for a treat. So let me read a little bit about the lunar eclipse. The top reasons to be excited about astrology right now. The astrology change is constant. Don't we forget about this. We tend to live our lives as though our ideas, our beliefs, our relationships, our talents, and our abilities are capable of lasting forever. The truth is, with Mars coming through and igniting Pluto, Jupiter, and Uranus, in the weeks ahead, we're about to be reminded powerfully that change occurs everywhere, running through everything. And however destabilizing this might be, it's a blessing. Now, did we plan that or what?
Yeah, that was all
right. So, now, however destabilizing this might be, it's a blessing, is that it awakens us to the flow of energy and life all around us. It reminds us that we're part of the flow of life, that we are being lived by powers of life that both animates and destroys every last thing that we believe ourselves to be and that we believe reality to be. Rather than curse this, we say to it, yes, and trust the rationality that this change is necessary, not necessary because of an end goal we need to figure out or will eventually reach, but because, but simply by virtue of it happening at all, practically speaking, it's a fantastic time to allow our power or authority to be checked and balanced by others. So it may not be exactly how we plan. Let me finish, okay? To come into a much deeper understanding of our responsibilities as we recognize more fully the diversity surrounding us. A powerful person is one whose direction of energy incorporates and empowers the passion, talents, and experience of others. One who trusts others' authority and other inner resources and vision. One whose power stems from their total confidence in the abdication of their power. That's really quite a big statement right there. A powerful person recognizes the effectiveness of other people's power as a function of their own power too. One who recognizes that all power is in some ways impersonal. They recognize that great character and tremendous personality emerge like a strange flower in a garden that absolutely does not belong to them. This is a day to watch as circumstances change, as doors close, and as portals to new ways of being present themselves. And today we are going to experience the Stargate portal. So I'm really happy about that. Which one will we step through today? Where do we place our hopes? And which particular fear will we start to recognize as nothing more than a joyous invitation to the inevitable? This is a good time to remember that we live on a planet where each day we perceive two equally sized lights in the sky. Despite the fact that they are radically different distances away from us, these two lights predictably eclipse one another. If we think about it long enough with an open heart, these basic symbols tell us everything we need to know. So hey guys, let's kick it out of the eclipse. Let's kick it all out on the eclipse day. Let us welcome it slamming us to the nose or whatever else it wants to do. Let us dare to say, more please, as though all this craziness is one big never-ending yes. Why not? Once in a while. Why the hell not? Yeah. Okay, why not? Okay, we're going to change cable. So,
that one's broken.
that one doesn't seem to be working, does it? So anyway, we have an opportunity, and it's an interesting thing in the Stargate experience. How many people here have ever experienced a Stargate? Great. Okay, that's a great sound right there. If I can ask you all to turn off your phones or put it into airplane mode and resume when you walk out of here, that would be fine. So a number of you, I'm really delighted to see that that's the case. And I appreciate you bringing your energy here today. So a little bit about the Stargate. This is the Stargate structure. Now the Stargate, I have some pictures of me, and I decided not to complicate matters further by having visuals and stuff, since we do have a Stargate. But there are Stargates that are so tiny they can fit on your hand. And then there are Stargates that are 10.5 feet tall that 20 people can sort of really squeeze into. It's not, you don't have to get inside there. That's a really good thing, right? Because what a Stargate does is it accelerates the energy in the room. So I think we'll all kind of get a sense of that today. I've been into meditation for decades, pretty much about 40 years actually. And I laugh because who among us can believe how fast the years go in our lives? I mean, I feel like I'm a teenager, and I am, on a chronological thing that is certainly not the case, but life, those of us who have been around for a long time are starting to see that we seem to be youthing in many ways. An interesting thing with the Stargate, recently it has started working on our mitochondria and our telomeres, growing our telomeres. The things that age us are now starting to grow again. So there are miraculous possibilities for each and every one of us here in this room to experience. And I hope that today we're going to have a chance to have a little bit of an experience. He's coming back with another.
No, I'm just going to wait this time.
Oh, okay, great. All right, because I wanted to kind of like wait for him. So the Stargate began, this man, his name is Purgeet Harris. He's in Mount Shasta now. It's the home of the Stargates International. And a friend of mine that I've known for decades had an experience in 12-12-12 in Arkansas. And he called me up and he said, Shima, oh my God, this is amazing. This meditation is like anything, because we've both been meditating for so many years. He said, wait to experience this. Well, it took me a year. And they came to Marin, where I live, and I went on Friday night to check it out. And I went back on Saturday, and then of course I went back on Sunday because, oh my God, it was really quite amazing. Soon thereafter, I started bringing the Stargate to Marin. And people would come and they would turn again and again because each experience seems to be a cumulative experience. For myself, the thing that attracted me to it was I never experienced so much unconditional love. The energy in the room, I mean, sometimes I would cry, sometimes I wouldn't, my body temperature would change, a lot of things really would happen. People have had spontaneous healings. Everyone's experience is a little different. It is about reawakening our DNA. We have, we're kind of conscious of 2 strands of DNA, and we have much more than that. And many of our abilities are tied to that. And so what's starting to happen is people are finding their psychic abilities are opening and different experiences. Those of you who have experienced a Stargate, would anybody like to share? How did you come here?
Yeah, look at you guys. Okay, so I've been able to experience it in Marin and in Mount Shasta. And besides the beautiful experiences of ascended masters such as Jesus, Mother Mary, the angels, it opened me up to the galactic realm, galactic heritage, and so there's infinite possibilities. It can open you up to other dimensions. So you're in for a treat. You only ask to be open.
Thank you. Joan?
I don't need a microphone.
Yes, you do.
Of course.
Weren't you the one who told me I needed a microphone?
Yes, of course. I'm Joan of Angels, and I've done, Shima brought me to my first Stargate event, and it's the easiest and most profound way of going interdimensional that I've ever experienced, and it's good for beginners, it's good for advanced, just to take us through the dimensions. And I paint divine beings. I didn't bring any of the paintings, but a lot of them came through to me through some of the Stargate work. So it's just a great way to experience. And you are a great facilitator.
Thank you, sweetheart. So, and it was interesting to see with Joan because she came to a Stargate one night and then started listening to free recordings online. And she'd be painting to the Stargate meditations. And I walked into her house last year after the Conscious Life, and it was like, oh my God, the energy of these Earth messengers was a staggering experience. So there's many, many things, and each one of us is different. So, all right, well, we don't have a heck of a lot of time, so we're going to start a meditation. How's that sound? Anybody else have anything burning they need to say? Yes.
Just really strange in what you were mentioning about the astrology. I have been coming to these since the very first one. Every one except for this year, I missed a couple, but every one except for this year, I had a parrot who's my best friend.
Oh, I remember you with your parrot.
In the lectures. And exactly 20 days ago today, he was run over by a car and killed. And the anniversary is right at 4:50 p.m. today. It will be 20 days. He was born or hatched on the 20th, nearest I can tell, and I was born on the 20th of the month as well. And so I just really wanted to see if there was any, I don't know. I'm looking for messages, maybe where there aren't any.
Well, let's see how everything goes with the meditation. You never know. You might have a visit. You know, there are different energies that come in for sure. So this is going to be interesting trying to do this. Okay, we don't quite have this, but it is. How's that sound? Can you all hear me? Okay, because I'm going to put on some music. And Joan, would you like to come and? All right. So, oh great. All right. Let's see. Can you pull this over? Can you just pull this over here?
How do you want to do this?
I'm going to have you stand up here.
You want to start here? Oh, no, right here. Right here.
Right here. Right there. All right. A little bit more. You're not moving this way. Good. Okay. All right. So, phones are off. Okay. The beautiful thing about the Stargate is there's nothing to do. Just relax. Take a deep breath. I'm going to play a little music. And let's just see what happens. Okay, here we go. And maybe somebody can lower the lights a little bit. That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's perfect. Just take a deep breath and just relax. There's nothing to do. Keeping your eyes closed helps you to just relax more. I'm only moving my arms a little bit. Nothing else to speak of. And as we do in every Stargate, we're going to first call upon the energies of Gaia, calling upon the energy of Mother Earth to come up into our body. And you'll call inside. Your intention is the most important thing in Stargate. So as I call, Joan will speak out with me in response. The rest of us will call inside. We call for the energy of Mother Earth to come up into our bodies and up into the room.
We call for the energy of Mother Earth to come up through our feet and earth and into the room.
And just feel. Very subtle at first. The structure of the Stargate is a representation of an etheric Stargate. In this etheric Stargate, each of us can call in at any time, whether we're listening to a recording. For those who have never seen a Stargate, think of a pyramid. The most important thing is the energy, the vibrational frequency. And what the Stargate does is it amplifies and accelerates the energy in the room. So let us call for the energy of the etheric Stargate to come into the room, into the third dimension. We call for the energy of the etheric Stargate.
We call for the energy of the etheric Stargate
take the Stargate up through the dimensions. Each of the dimensions is here and now. Just feel as it subtly shifts. As we go through the third, into the fourth, feeling the energy of the Stargate faster and faster. So we go into the third, up to the third, into the fourth, moving through the fourth, up into the fifth dimension, accelerating, into the sixth. Just feel the energy accelerating. Into the seventh, and at the seventh level, the Stargate will come to rest. Just allowing our energies to rise in harmonize with the seventh level energy. Just feel, nothing to do, just allow the energy to be subtle at first. We're going to move now through the seventh dimensional field, up through the eighth, to the eighth, up to the ninth, through the ninth, and into the 10th energy frequency. Moving through the 10th, up through the 11th, and into the 12th dimensional energy field, where we will pause and allow our bodies and our own frequencies to harmonize with this 12th dimensional energy field. And each of us calling inside for a strong 12th dimensional energy field to fill the room.
We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy field to fill the room.
Just feel. And as we often do in the Stargate, the first beings we call to join us today is the angelic realm. So inside, let us all call for the energy of the angelic realm to fill the room.
We call for the energy of the angelic
Just feel. Invite them to come closer. Maybe you might feel their energy close to you. A little breath of air. Invite them to come closer. The angelic realm. Very good. And as is often the case, we will invite a representative of the Divine Feminine to join us today. She loves humanity so and comes to many, many, many stargates. And this is the energy of Mary, the Blessed Mother, calling in our hearts. We call for the energy of Mary, or Maria, the Blessed Mother. Just feel the subtle change in energy. As the angelic realm fades into the background, and Mother Mary comes forward. Maria. And joining us also is another ascended master from the east. Who is known as Gautama the Buddha. We invite him and ask him to join us today. We call for the energy of Gautama the Buddha.
We call for the energy of Gautama.
And feel the energies shifting, ever so slightly perhaps. Just open your heart to feel. The Ascended Masters have all walked upon the earth. They know the human condition, and they are there for each of us. Many of us, probably most of us in this room, have lived other lives and have had masters. Perhaps we have forgotten them or their specific name. The master never forgets the student. So let each of us call in our hearts for our own guide and guides and master and masters to join us today. We call for our Ascended Masters to join us today.
We call for our Ascended Masters to join us.
Just open your heart and feel. Nothing to do. And often there is the energy of male and female, a balanced male and female energy that come in together as Jesus the Nazarene and Mary Magdalene, twin flames, joining us together here today. Let us call forth the energy of Jesus the Nazarene and Mary Magdalene.
We call forth the energy of Jesus the Nazarene and Mary Magdalene.
Just feel as they come to you. There are so many masters to call upon. But the final one that we will invite today to join us is the master known by many as Saint Germain, who has had many incarnations as many ascended beings. Let us call in our hearts for the energy of Saint Germain.
Let us call for the energy of Saint Germain.
He feels a special kinship for the Conscious Life Expo. So much of his energy is here today, as are the angels and the Ascended Masters. And as they all form a soup of energy around us, just feel the presence, their presence in the room. They're all still here. They're all holding energy for us. These and many others. And let us take a moment to invite a very special beings, our star families, who are most recently the ones that have held the energy of enlightenment. And that is representatives from the Pleiades. Let us call forth messengers from the Pleiades.
Let us call forth messengers from the Pleiades.
And they come in very softly at first. Invite them to come closer if you wish. Allow them to come close as you like. The Pleiades. Many of us have come from various star systems throughout the universe. Those that brought the light of consciousness to the Pleiadians is the star system known as Arcturus, and the Arcturians. Let us call the Arcturians into the room.
We call forth the Arcturians.
And just feel the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the energies of Saint Germain, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, of our individual ascended masters, the Buddha, Blessed Mother, and the angels, Los Angeles. Just feel their energy. There are so many beings, nature spirits, the animal kingdom, the minerals, the mountains, the beings of inner earth, so many of our divine, benevolent beings who enjoy being with us. May each of us have the opportunity to experience them, feeling their love for humanity in our hearts. As our DNA in each of our cells is reactivated and touched with this divine love. Very good. And little by little, bring yourself, your energies back into the room, back into this hotel, back into your seat. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. Thank you. All right. So we turn the light a little bit for us. Whew, thank you. So, it's always good to drink water. When you leave here, there's a lot of water around. Please bring yourself back into your body. I know for me, I usually never want to come back. I feel so relaxed and so beautiful there. One of the key things about the Stargate, and hopefully next year I'll actually do a longer version. I don't really have a long time today. But what I would really invite you to do is to share a little bit about your experience. When we do a Stargate, we tend to do several meditations, and the sharing is so important. It really helps everyone. So I would like to invite anyone who would like to share a little bit about your experience. Oh, sorry. When did she come up though? Here you go. Oh, she's coming up. Yeah, Laura. Are you okay?
That was so beautiful.
Huh?
That was so beautiful.
Would you? I know. It's kind
I just wanted to say that when we got up to the 7th dimension, that the gold, just a very bright golden light was very pronounced, and then it was solid, and then it, as we went up into the higher dimensions, it split off and showered out. And but instead of my energy feeling expansive, it felt more like I was surrounded and compressed in it, which was not something I was expecting, because typically it would feel more expansive, and but it was like wearing a compression suit, and yeah, very, very. I'm not here yet.
That was lovely. Thank you. I'm so glad. It's so important to share. Laura.
I don't know if the rest of you experienced this, but I went very deep
into it, an extreme calmness came over me. And it's almost like I knew what you were going to say next, especially when you said Saint Germain was coming, because I really felt his presence. So it was really beautiful, but very calming, and I personally still am in that level.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting part of it. Usually you can come out fairly quickly. I'm still there, which is going to probably last me the rest of the day at least, if not longer.
Which is one of the reasons why I'm so delighted, and thank you all for coming. I'm so touched. 3 o'clock on Friday is not the ideal time. People are still trying to get parking and get here and working and all of that. But the energy, it feels like it's so important to start your whole experience. I feel like, although we're kind of like a little secret here at the end of the hall, I feel like we have blessed this whole event by being here. You have blessed this whole event by being here. So I appreciate you so much, and thank you. And anybody else who would like to share? We've got about 2 minutes.
Just real quick, I don't have to take the microphone. Moments before you said something about the angelic realm, I had just called my angels to me. And then moments later, so that was interesting to me. Perfect timing.
Yes. Well, and here we are in the city of the angels, all right? It's kind of, I always forget when I come back to LA because I now live up in the Bay Area. But, wow. So, be gentle with yourself. This is really the experience of the Stargate. And those of you who have experienced the Stargate before find that it just gets deeper. Each experience is a bit different. I have my cards here. I didn't really bring any kind of other materials, but it has my website on it, and I have Stargate on my website and some of the other things that I do on there. So, and I really should have had a piece of paper. Joan, if you would try to do me a favor, I would love if people would like to sign up on a mailing list, that would be really divine.
And that's interesting. I'm going to leave a piece of paper here with a pen.
Okay, great.
Pen back. Pens are precious.
Great. And just your name and your email, if you'd write it really kind of legibly. And I'm not a spammer, but it's just kind of like to let you know what if you'd like to know more. I have a meetup up in the Bay Area called 5D StarPortal, and we have Stargate meditations up there. And we have one planned for March 4th, which is a couple of, maybe 3 weeks from now in San Rafael. So if you know anybody there. And also I'm looking at doing Stargate meditations, webinars. You can also go to Stargates, plural, or just go to the Stargate Experience. And that's the Stargate up in Mount Shasta. A lot of free videos, audios, wonderful things. Yes?
Yeah, I just, one comment.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was great.
Oh, thank you.
But I got lost with some of the religious context.
Okay, thank you.
I wasn't going to say anything, but now I felt like, you know what?
I'm so glad you did.
Sorry.
Yes, no. And that is really very important because you'll see along the Stargate. It's not, it could be it could be many of the different ascended masters. I know, I was brought up Catholic, and I know certain people who come who are kind of like, oh, I can't stand some of these references. But you know what? They are some of the beings that come. It doesn't.
Jesus is a prophet, and he's a master.
Yes.
But he's not who it's not my representation of him.
And thank you, because if you feel you feel somebody else, it's kind of like if the angels are coming and we haven't quite gotten there yet, you can just call in your own. That's why I mentioned your own ascended master, your own guardians. We all have guardians. And for me, I have to say Saint Germain was somebody who I never really identified with. But of late, and it just felt like for the Expo, it just feels like that was the energy.
Yeah, I felt it was very powerful that when you brought in Jesus and you know.
People have different connotations about
Yeah.
it. This is not religious. This is not a religious experience, or it kind of is in its own way, but it's not a
Well, that's why I'm here, that's what I connect to with,
Yeah.
with this expo. Is
Yes.
Not the non-religious connection to spirit. You know.
Yes,
And I
yes.
didn't feel it as a religious experience, I felt it as the energies of one more ascended master.
But you know, and I understand that. You've
Yeah.
experienced Stargate.
Yeah.
So that's different from somebody who hasn't.
Yeah.
And I totally honor and thank you for mentioning that.
Mhm.
Yeah, because other people, if you're thinking it, other people are thinking it as well. And,
I checked out at that moment.
okay, yes,
Maybe I'm
and,
not in the right place.
oh, yeah, okay. Well, you know, and it's
It's about me,
interesting.
I know.
Because I have a partner that I do the Stargates with, and he doesn't relate to Mary. He says, I can't go there. So he brings in Isis. So when he leads it, he brings in Isis. And it's all good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just,
I
it's
don't know
the,
ISIS, but I'll check them out.
it's the energy, it's the frequency.
Yeah.
It really is about it. Well, I think we have to clear out. I want to thank you once again for coming. You have been divine. I'm using that word a lot today. It's interesting how that happens. It's not really my word, but thank you. Take a card, write down your name and email if you like, stay in touch.
So for a while, like names like that would trigger me. I've since like.
No, I don't do this.